different ways to pick crab. There really is. Each family has their own way to do it. Each community has their own way to do it. And generally they'll all tell you it's the right way to do it. But what you need to do is you have to find the way that you feel most comfortable and that you get the most crab out. People that are not from here, they say, why do you guys do this? This is ridiculous. Well, it tastes good, right? And I don't know about you, but from when I grew up, we sat around for all night. It would start in the evening, and we would be there until, midnight, sitting out back, piles of crabs just like this, beer everywhere, maybe a few shots, and everybody would just be hanging out, and you would pick, and you would tell stories, and that's what it was all about. It's kind of a rite of passage. It's a ritual in the Chesapeake. And so maybe, you're not going to get a pound of crab out of it, but you have a really good time. So let's take a look at these little critters here that we have here. I better put my glasses on so I know what side's up here. A little age, Okay. So actually, these crabs are pretty nice. I generally feel, you want to feel your crabs, got a little weight on it or something like that's nice. So when you're looking at the crab, the bottom of the crab, as you can see here, they call this the apron, the bib. We have boy crabs here. These are male crabs. If there's this is almost like a little pull tab here, but if there was a big apron that went like that, that would be a female crab. Female crabs are only legal to catch at certain sizes and certain times of the year. They're generally a little bit lighter, and traditionally they've been used more for soup than for actually picking. So most of the picking houses are looking for male crabs that are a little bit heavy. If you're going to go out and you're going to buy them to steam them yourself, most people want to try to get number one jimmies. Number one jimmies means a heavy male crab, basically. They're expensive, but oh my God, they're so good. They're really, really good. So, okay. Now, here comes, I'm going to just basically, Chef Moreno and I, and Eddie too. Eddie's really good at
he's the master.
He's a master now with this too. We'll do a little bit of taking the crab apart. Now, I generally take the claws off first, and I put those aside because I really like them. So if you want to do it, why don't everybody, let's get some. Just look back over at me a little now and then. But the best way to do it is just to do it. So all you have to do is take the claw and just pull it. It's going to come off. Now, if it happens to come off and it has a little meat on the end, you are allowed to eat that. That's allowed. That's allowed. Now I just put my claws over to the side. Now, anybody like soft shell crabs?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, say, think that they're different kind of crabs. They're the same crab. That's just how crabs molt. A crab, like one of these, in its lifetime will molt about 20 to 25 times. And it can happen with every 15 days to 20 days when they're younger, and then it spreads out. Their average lifespan is about a year and a half, but you can find some really old crabs at about 3 years old. All right, now, you remember that little pull tab we were looking at? Why don't you pull it off? See what I'm doing? Just pull it right off.
Yep.
Okay, like that. And then you could either use the end of a knife, or you can take your thumb. I just take my thumb and put it right there, and the shell, the top shell, comes right off. Actually, this is interesting. This crab was getting ready to slough, to molt, because here's the soft shell underneath of it.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that many times. Yeah, yeah, they caught it before it could molt. Okay, now for those of you that know what you're doing, you go right ahead. For those of you who don't know what you're doing, on the top of that, after we've opened the thing, you see these spongy little things that go across. That's the gills. So you don't want to eat those. They're the spongy little things. You just pull those out. They pull out very easily. If you're squeamish, use a little paring knife or something, but that's pretty much it. Then you either can cut off or break off across the eyes. I know that sounds bad, but... And then, right up here, I just take a little bit of the top part off. Now, what we have left here, you might see some yellowish stuff. Anybody have any yellowish stuff in yours? Yeah. That would be fat. They call it the mustard, but it is actually like the fat from the crab. Has a lot of flavor. It's very, very good. So don't be afraid of it. It tastes nice. So we have the body of the crab left here. There's a couple of different ways that you can approach it from here. You can just break it in half and then start to take crab out from the sides, or some of the ladies in the picking houses will actually take a little paring knife and they cut off like around the knuckles, like around the edge. Just cut right around the edge just to take off the edges of it, like so. You see, I just took them off all the way around here. And then you could either use your hand or you could use your knife and cut along like horizontally here. And what you're going to do is you essentially open up all the chambers. Look at this. All the chambers of the crab. So the meat's right there. So from that point, you can either pick that out with your fingers, or I sometimes like to use a little paring knife, but the meat on this is coming out quite nicely.
Delicious. It tastes delicious.
Very nice.
Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're eating up here. Back right here, I pulled out in the back of the crab a great big lump. So if you were buying this, or when the people that are working in the crab picking houses, this would be put into a container with jumbo lump. This is the most expensive of the crab. It's the kind of the piece de resistance of crab, and this is something that you want to use in crab cakes. But when you're at a feast like this, you're just going to eat it. Heck with the crab cakes.
Nothing better than that.
Nothing better than that. Then, after you finish eating that, you can either go from one crab to another crab, and then you have a whole pile of claws for the end, or you can attack a claw at the end of each crab. So I just kind of break the crab claw into two pieces. Now you see these mallets that you have here. A lot of people around the bay don't even really use mallets that much. You can, a knife, kind of the sharp end of the knife, you're supposed to just put that and just rest it on the side, the edge of the claw, and just a little tap. We're not trying to smash the claw into pieces. You're just tapping it so that it will open up, and then you have the meat from the claw. The meat from the claw is great. It's like really sweet. I really like the flavor on it. And growing up, we would usually use that to put it into crab soups, or if you're having a lot of people over and you wanted to get the cost down a little bit, you might use some back fin crab and some claw crab and mix it all together. It makes a beautiful, really, really sweet and delicious crab cake. Generally, the ones that would be made with the claw meat were always fried. They would always fry that. And people will sometimes say to you, oh, I don't know whether I should fry it or if I should broil it. They're both delicious. Generally, if I'm using lots of good crab meat, big pieces of crab, I will generally broil it so that you're just tasting the crab and nothing else. But there's hardly anybody, if you give them a nice crab cake that's been fried up, is going to turn their nose up at it because that crust is just delicious. All right. Do a little bit more of this. These are good.
Yep.
Good crabs. I'm liking it. I'm going to come walk around a little bit. You guys work on crabs. I'm going to go see how everybody's doing here.